Today I kind of wanted to focus on just doing some cutting with the falls I have. See if I have any females and then pull the eggs out and whatnot. If you're new to my YouTube, welcome. If you're give it a like, drop some comments and tell me some things that you'd like to see on here. Primarily I'd say my forte is cutting elk, cutting fish, smoking, and jerky. So other than that, I'm just gonna sit here and I have 17 falls that I'm just gonna cut up, do some back straps, and then have a whole smorgasbord of everything. Behind me is my smoker. Two separate smokers that I use, one for jerky and then or meat just in general, and then I have one that I do all my fishing. I get asked quite frequently if I use the same one, and I do not. I would highly recommend using two different smokers, because if you use the same one, you're gonna have your jerky taking like fish, and it's not really appealing too. So make sure you have two different ones. And these are the sheds are approximately 9 feet tall, and then they're 4 feet wide. So just to give you a little bit of background on the sheds, the racks inside are 42 by 44 inches. So I could probably hold them like this. They hold a lot of fish. Probably could hold, I have 2 racks into my smoker, and that's probably about all I want. But first one is I was hitting a hen. And what I'm gonna do is this back. I know I have a lot of friends that want these. My cousin actually, he's been wanting, I don't know how many pounds, I can't remember. It was a lot. So just one of these things probably weighs about a pound. I wouldn't doubt it. Yeah, I'd say maybe about a pound. They're kind of bloody though, they need to be cleaned up. I would say dinner presentable, but that's not very dinner presentable. I gotta get my bucket too. I always forget something before I start, and then my bucket's this time for the excess guts and whatnot. And then I don't have my towel, so it's probably gonna get messy. What else is new though? And I think what I'm just gonna, I don't know if I'm gonna do the bellies outright or take the cages off during this video. I'm not sure. A lot of times, like I like to do a lot of fast forwarding, because I think myself, I think I get bored watching it. So I hope that I have the same mindset everybody else does. If you don't want me to fast forward it, let me know too. A lot of times people say they want to hear the words what I'm saying. If you don't have a cleaver to get your tails and your heads off, highly recommend it. I have a feeling the majority are going to be females. So I guess what I should be telling myself is not fling the knife through there very fast. $1 a pound. Who was someone saying they did them at $10 a pound or something? I don't know. Let me know what eggs go for. What's a reasonable price as a shopper, I guess you should say. What in your head is a reasonable price to get eggs? I don't even know. I don't even really care. I always use my tuna steaks, as everybody knows. Some of these are turning already too. And you'll notice this is what happens when you don't pop the gills. It gets bloody. And it gets messy. So make sure you always pop the gills. normally I have my paper towels out here to help me out. Actually, I might want to go with one. Use one of my gloves for now. But it's gonna get really messy just because these gills aren't popped. So. All three of these have been females. It's interesting. Females must be coming up first. Maybe first. Where are we at in the run? Maybe last. I have to look at the fish count and see where we're at. I'm slacking. I don't have that kind of knowledge right now. And normally I'm that person that knows the weather. I know how hot it's going to be, what time the wind's going to pick up. Is it going to rain? What time it gets light? What time it gets dark? I'm that type of person. So pay attention to details when you're fishing and hunting. I'll probably, I don't know. Like sometimes I break these down, the back strap. I'm not sure what I want to do with them. My glove might be doing a better job than my paper towels for now. Then it's gonna get crazy messy after I start. Oh, that's a big one. I wish it'd take me like 5 minutes to go find my scale. That. Some of these are deceiving because they have a pointy nose, so you think, oh, it's a buck. Yep. Oh, what am I? 555? 555. What am I? 5 for 5. And females? Is that what it is? 4, 3. Shoot, I'm not even counting. I'm not even paying attention. Like that in school too. I would pay attention but not pay attention. I have to pay attention. See, that tells you these haven't been popped. So. Looking pretty bright though. Sometimes too, one of the things is that if they're changing color, then more likely they're holding. The water temperature isn't right, so they're holding a lot longer in the river. In pockets, normally they'll hold in the pockets, and then sometimes that's the case. They're waiting for that water temperature to change. So I don't know if everybody's aware of that. Sometimes they could be sitting in the middle of the Columbia and then they're like, why are they white? And they've probably been sitting in that warm water for a while. And the ones that are brighter sometimes shoot up quicker too. So that's always something that happens. I could be wrong, but that's just what I know. I don't try to say I'm right all the time. Just from what I guess first-hand knowledge. Experience, I guess. That'd be the other thing. These gloves suck for doing this. I was gonna have my rubber gloves on, but then I couldn't find any of them. And they already acting like they want to spawn the way their legs are breaking apart. Ooh, first bite. I was kind of bummed. I told my cousin, come up with some still hooking them up. Make sure that you have your paper towels or a towel, and when you have your towels, don't put them back into the general population. That don't work. Yeah, this one turns some color. Not very bright. If you didn't do that, it'd be like using the same smoke shade for jerky. You'll be all having all your clothes smell like fish. Unless you want them to smell that way, I don't know. These fires out here got it really muggy. It's hot. Everybody's probably asking, why aren't you hunting? Mutilated that thing. That's good. It hurt my foot. I don't know what I did to hurt it. Hurt it really bad though. Today's probably my best day. Being without my boot. I've been walking around with the boot. Can't even walk right. So I haven't got that big hurt yet. That's why. I made a little bit of jerky, but not a whole lot. That's where I need my paper towel assisted. Oh, it's under the book. I'm trying to debate. I think I want to can these actually. And if you follow me, I do on Facebook. I do a lot of canning. I don't put them so much on YouTube. Every time I'm trying to, I'm running out of light. God, that's such a crazy thing is timing when you're trying to do a video. It's crazy. Wait for the wind to die. Wait for the sun to come up. Wait for it. Hurry up before the sun goes down. It's always something. See, these are getting kind of flaky too. That's one thing you'll know when they get flaky like that. I don't know. I probably can't see it. I'll have to zoom it in on them. They start getting flaky, then they're not firm. The value of the fish goes down in my opinion. It's just my opinion. I'll give all my opinions all the time, but if I'm wrong, give me constructive criticism. Don't beat me up over it. I don't think anybody likes to be beat up over anything. The other thing is horns and antlers and stuff like that. Well, if I misspeak, it's not like I'm trying to do it on purpose. So this one I must say is a female, I'm guessing. Just because yeah, it's been tough. Like the rounded noses are normally the females, and the pointier noses are the males. But these ones kind of, this one's actually looks not so deceiving. Something like that. These are all turning. That water must just be warm out there. Make some luckamine. Throw the heads and the back straps in there with some dumplings and some PLP. Should do a video on that, but I'm sometimes I'm reluctant to do things because then my own people get hammered down on me. So breaking up. This one's waterlogged. It's got a lot of water in it. You gotta make sure that when you're storing stuff too, to make sure your ice, when it starts to melt, that you drain your ice chest. It sits in that water. That's what will happen. It's a one man show today, so I don't know. I think I'm just kind of cruising through it and just talking. I don't know whether I want to take my audio out of it and just kind of put some jams to it. Drop some music too that you want to hear on the YouTube. I don't know. Give me something. Sometimes I'm stumped. It takes me forever to put stuff together just because I'm like, what song should I jam out to? A lot of the music I listen to is hip hop and stuff like that. So that's why you'll hear a lot of the jams that people you like. That makes no sense. It doesn't go with your rowing or the fish you're catching. It's just because of what I listen to when I'm doing stuff like this, how I get down. So if it doesn't make no sense to you, then that's fine. But give me the jam that you would like, and I'll name drop you or something like that too. Because I'm about ready to break 500 subscribers, and I didn't think it would be so hard to get subscribers. Like, I thought a lot of people would be supporting me, and I guess the starting up in anything is like the hardest thing to do. Then once everybody finds you, then does it get simpler? More simple? I guess that's where I'm at right now. Still on that uphill incline where I'm trying to figure out what everybody's interested in. Some people show their cat and it has 1 million views, and I'm like, it's a cat. And I show something really cool and it has like 200 views. So I'm trying to figure out the algorithm, I guess, too, with how this whole YouTube thing works. Once I get the right algorithm, though, I think I'll be successful. I don't know, do we want to sit here and continue to watch me do this, or pretty repetitious, over and over and over again, like the Johnny Cash Walk the Line. The same people keep coming in with the same old song over. I always think of that. Don't be mainstream, so I always try to get outside of mainstream and do stuff that I haven't seen. This was weird. These eggs were wrapped around. They're wrapped. I wish I could have. I don't know. What would that be? Liver? They were wrapped around something. That was really weird. I never. Well, I can't say never, but I don't know if I'd seen that before. I wasn't sure. I'm not sure. I'm not. It's one of those things that befuddles me, or maybe like, what? Why is it in there? Oh, this one's really wide. Look at this. This one looks like it's down there ready to spawn. Or I'm not even keeping this back shot. I don't know. Maybe I could smoke it. I don't know. That's just. I'll get the cages off and everything later. I'm just doing away with it. Almost there, hitting the home stretch. Woo. Look at all these eggs. Oops, got kind of aggressive. So this is where we're at in a 2-gallon bag. God, I'd say this almost weighs about 15 pounds. They're about, I would say they're about a pound almost. That's how, well, some of them aren't, but some of them are. I mean, that's how much eggs I have in there. Obnoxious amount already. If I was paying more attention, I would have kept track of all the females. Figure that out. Count it later. Well, we're gonna have. I think I might just can all the bills. I don't know. The back straps I've been smoking. They're kind of like a workout to pick, because you kind of gotta pick them out when you do that. I'm not sure. If anybody wants something too, don't ever hesitate to get a hold of me. If you're in need of anything, let me know. I like to help everybody. Oh, let's see, this one's really pink. I think the cleaver's getting dolly. Oh wait, I was like, I did 17, but there's not. I forgot I left 2 in the. Or did I? No, I didn't. There's 17, so. I thought I left a couple in there because I couldn't fit them all on the table. That's a crazy problem to have. It's a good problem. Being successful. Better sharpen up. It's starting to get really messy. I turned the air conditioning off, and then I turned off the water, everything that I'm using. Because before, I noticed in my videos that I hear the air conditioning turn on, it's like, wah, and it's like, oh, how frustrating is that? When you put all that energy into something, all you can hear is the air conditioning going. I moved my table back too, so people can't see me from the road. It's always been a distraction. It has me looking up all the time. Nobody's standing over here beside me either, so when I fling my knife out like that, I'm precautious when it comes to that. I've stabbed myself quite a few times too. I think this video I'm aiming for just so everybody can see kind of how, instead of rewinding it, maybe that you can just keep seeing the same cuts over and over and over, and you're seeing it and you're getting the hang of it. I deleted the comment on there. One of the guys said, well, if I shot, you know, several elk a year, I'd be really good at cutting too, or if I did that many salmon, I'd be really good at filleting. Well, to be honest, I watched the video. How I learned how to do a video was watching the video. I watched it all day long of how to cut and dissect an elk. I can't remember, it was in a library on a VHS. It was that repetitions that you need, and that's what I did. I visualized it. Then once I was able to get an elk, I already knew in my head how exactly to cut it. So I mean, mentally you got to be prepared to cut as much as you got to be physically able to do it too, and to use all your body to its strengths, not weaknesses, because you're gonna get tired if you do awkward cuts or you're like leaning on one side or something. I always tell everybody, if you're getting tired when you're cutting, take a break, slow down, because that's when you get cut. Well, that's when I cut myself most of the time. I'm going like my motor just, I don't know whether it's my body or my mind gives out first. I don't know, but my mind's always telling me pick it up, let's go. Mentality is what I have. Faster, move. You'll see it a lot within my family too, is that literally, I think we should have came up with the phrase burning daylight. Burning something. Burning time. That's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna patent that. Burning time. That fin got in the way. But I can tell I'm starting to get tired now too. 17 fish will make you tired. And then I'm still not done with the cages and the bellies. And I'm gonna chop it off. Once I get done with these 3, then I'm gonna do all the cages. Maybe I could do a couple. I don't know. I knew it was gonna get messy. Sharpen up for the home stretch. Try not to put your sharpener over the stuff that you're cutting. Since I don't have paper towel, my shirt gets the wrap with it. Oh, there you go. when you fighting, you feel yourself fighting something that you're cutting too, make sure you sharpen. Oh, I hate sharpening, or I hate using a dull knife. But you'll realize when you get tired, you bite it and then it'll stop, sharpen up. So you're not biting it. It should be consistent with the flow. My forearms are starting to hurt even. I don't even know why. I don't know. They normally don't hurt. Maybe it's I haven't done this 2 weeks or something. Something like that. Half tree. Oh no. Well, maybe that's a half tree. Look out. Cutting organs. It's so loud too, so it's always hard, like not having car alarms or dogs barking. So you can't control your environment when you're in town. So I wish I could just have this up in the mountains where there's nothing going on. Silent. I knew it wasn't cut. It's not cut. Last one. Well, last one to fillet. Is that a rooster? Someone has a rooster since. Maybe there is roosters over there. I don't know. Or am I hearing things? I'm getting delusional cutting all this fish. There is a rooster. There is a rooster over there. Who's got a rooster in town? My neighbors have roosters. Now I'm curious. We'll find out. I'm gonna walk down there and figure out where that rooster is at. Who's over that way? That'd be east. East from here. Get my compass out. 240 degrees. Is that what east is? Wait, no. East would be 9. Would it be? No? I'm gonna have to go look at my compass. No, because it goes 90. Yeah, that would be 240. 230, 230 degrees. Where the rooster's coming from. Alright, now the next thing is to start taking off the bellies and the cages. Hope you like. I don't even know, I was wanting to kind of time myself too to see how long it took me to do 17 of these too. So if you haven't liked or subscribed my page, please do so and drop some things that you want me to do, teach you guys on. So other than that, have a good day. I just wanted to do a real quick little clip with cutting up some of the fish, kind of how I'll start preparing it. And most of the time I'll just cut it in little chunks. I'll probably do just a couple parts of the fillets or whatnot. So what I'll normally do, since I run half pints, I kind of will cut them in half too, so they're little chunks like this. And just sit here and cut them all up. I was asked why, and I was like, why I cut them that way? Or sometimes I'll just kind of butterfly them and stick them in there. Why I cut them up this way is like, I don't know, if there's a different way or a better way, then let me know. I guess you could cut them all the way like this and then do it too if you want to. However, it doesn't really matter. I don't think it matters too much when you're canning, as long as they fit in there. Because these are half pints, so if you have them, you're going to have to cut them down to size anyway, some type of way. I'm not gonna do all the fish, but I just kind of wanted to do a little segment on the little chunks I do. I just got done. One thing too is when you're doing your lids and whatnot, make sure you're boiling them with vinegar for about 15-20 minutes. Hot water. Kind of start the time once it starts boiling. Same way when you're doing the canning, it starts to go over. Make sure that you're starting your 90 minutes with the fish as soon as it starts percolating too. So some of the little pointers, I guess. Oh, I didn't take off the cage. Jumping the gun. Still has his belly and the cage on. Well, we know what's for lunch right now. I was just deciding what I was gonna have for lunch. Well, guess what? Fish again. Let's bake these. Let's put that all in there right there. I also buy my plastic gloves in bulk just because it seems like I'm always wearing them. I got my jars right now in the dishwasher too, so they're getting ready. And these are big salmon. These salmon are really big. And then I have, oh, you know what? It's weird. I have my jalapenos and my peppers in my pocket. I just got done out in the garden picking the jalapenos that I want to put. They kind of got sunburned on one side. I was like, where did I put them? I was like, oh, they're still in my pocket. So I'll be adding those into the bottom of the jars too, so kind of give it a little kick. I'm not sure. I might try some liquid smoke. I might put a little bit of liquid smoke in these because I'm not going to smoke them and marinate them and go through that long process. These are just going to be straight canned. I've got a lot done and the freezers are full. Now I'm trying to work on all the pantry, all the space in the pantry to get filled up too. But I thought one thing too is I always try to make sure my lids are dry because if you put them on there it might break the seal, so I'm going to let them dry out too. I think I'm going to do one more, or just fillet. I don't think there's really enough reason, but that's kind of what I do. So I'll put them in little chunks. What I do too, and we'll see it later, is that I add water into the bottom to fill the air gaps up too, so that way, not a whole lot, because if you don't, you're going to have a lot of the moisture coming out of your salmon. So I just put enough so that my jars don't become bobbers and bounce around and break each other. Then you have fish all over there, and then your whole house, well, it already smells like fish as it is. But so I was just gonna go over one cut. Then I'm gonna finish cutting everything else up. Then I'll throw the jars out, get them dried out, and get them ready, and then start putting them in together too. So. Yeah, is that right, Gizzard? Right now, I'm actually starting to lay my jars out. Let's see, probably right about there. I hate how that does that vibration. I'm going to be doing, let's see, four cases. So I just got done earlier how I was showing how I was cutting up the fish, prepping it to put it into the jars. So now I have boiled my lids for about 15-20 minutes, and then make sure you add your vinegar. I did that, dried them out, Now I also washed and sanitized with vinegar my jars too. So, and the thing is, my dishwasher doesn't have like an hour setting. I think it only needs to be somewhere right around there. It's like a 3-hour setting, which is kind of, I don't know, I want to say pain, but I got them all done. So the next step will be to add the salmon in, and then put the lids on, and then drop them into start pressure cooking them. So I'm excited. And I probably want to space these out just a little bit. I like them having them close so I'm not stretching all over the place. So get fatigued when you're stretching all over the place, so we'll go right about there. So now the next step will be to cut up the jalapenos and get to adding the salmon and putting the lids on. Instead of starting like right from the very beginning, and I kind of like get some before I started recording. Now the chunks of salmon that I have now cut up I'm using my funnel and then putting them in there, so that way I don't get the walls or the lids, the top of the rims all wet or anything that will mess up my seal. So I'm now doing half pints, and I have chopped up the jalapenos and then from the garden, and then I had stuck them onto the bottom. So that's one of the things I commonly like to do is my jalapenos. I don't know, you could do peppers, onions is another one. My mom always wants garlic. She's a big garlic fan. One thing too is I always try to tell everybody is not to put, probably when you're doing your jars, you want to go probably about right up to the brim. Use that nice little ledge for your gauge. I don't recommend you stuffing them full to where it's really, I think what happens is it causes it to push up and hit the can, and it breaks the seal. So I always recommend not, giving it some room to breathe when you're adding it in there, or I mean space, I guess, to move around, I guess. I don't know. If you have any other if anybody has any advice on that too, drop a comment. Let me know how you do yours, because I'm interested to how full everybody does theirs, because we all do it different ways. And I always use half pints, because half pints I don't have to, I feel like I eat, that's the adequate of what I eat, especially when I'm not at home. If I'm at home, I probably could eat more, because I'll sit there and just have a meal, but most of the time it's because I'm in a hurry. I'm trying to find a piece for that. Then one of the things too is when I will have air gaps in them, and I got asked about that too, is about the air gaps and how I use, or how I fill the air gaps up, and as what I use is water. And I'll do that here in a second as soon as I wrap this up. And then I have over my dehydrator right now, and I'm drying too, so I did a fillet and dried these out. And these are falls that came from the Klickitat River in Washington State. Oop, that might be too much. I'm gonna take that one out. Now, one of the things too I wanted to do was I was debating whether, instead of doing the whole smoking process, I was in debate whether just to add liquid smoke, but everybody's gonna be like, ah, liquid smoke, so I don't think I'll do that. I don't think I'll mess with that, so. There's the tail. Some of the tail is still on it. And then I'm wrapping this up, so I only put one slice of my jalapeno in there. That's about all I think I can handle. Anymore, it gets too hot. I'm not too much of a hot person. Alright, so there we go. We're all finished with that. Okay, so now what I want to do is I'll just slowly go around and fill up my air pockets just a little bit, and then I feel like it causes it, like if you have a bunch of air in there, it will cause it to bounce around, and then I always call it bobbers. I have bobbers in there bouncing around, and then they break. So I like to use water to fill that in. Get that bottom full at least. I don't have a system, obviously, of how to put the water in. This is kind of how I've always done it. As needed, I guess. But I don't like to put too much in there because the salmon's gonna, I just like to get enough down on the bottom to fill in to give it a little bit of weight, I guess. Because I feel like it dilutes the oil from it too, so if I put too much in there, it will dilute that oil. I'm missing one more over there. I missed it. It's already getting hot because the pressure cooker's starting to warm up. I can't remember. Oops. Alright. I feel like I got them all. So now the next thing is just to be careful is to go ahead and take them and wipe them all down, just to make sure that the water or some of the salmon, kind of want to move it around too, I guess. You don't want to use the same part, and just try to clean it off a little bit so it's not all done, or I don't want it to mess my seal up. So make sure I get it. I think I did a pretty good job of not getting a lot of stuff on there, but just from having the funnel in there and then maybe touching it, so start going over them. That one was actually a little bit wet, so just go over it and then get all of your jars. So then one of the things too is when we let's see, I like to add on the top is a couple of my black pepper, my whole black peppers. Yeah, there we go. And it comes in bottles like that, and then I'll put probably like 1 or 2 in there, or if I accidentally dumped them in there earlier all over the place, then I'll have about 10. It's gonna be pretty pepper. So I like to do that. That's another little kicker that you get to have to put in there. So if you're really into pepper, then you can add more. If you're not, don't add it. If you like it plain, don't even put your jalapeno in there, dude. These are just little decorations I like to, you know, especially when people eat it for the first time, they're like, ooh, it has pepper in there. Oh, jalapeno. And then I'll probably just go over to, like, maybe do an example of in a jar. One of the things too with the lids is that I like to put them down and then put my finger inside and then slowly tighten them, not all the way but firm enough to make sure that they don't come off or anything like that too. So then now that I'm going to put all the lids on, I'm going to start transitioning to, I guess it would be faster just to do it this way instead of one at a time. Sometimes I get in that mode where I'm just I do one and then I'll put the lid on, then I'll do it instead of do them all and then do the next step. I don't know. I guess sometimes it gets really monotonous when you're doing something repetitive, so I guess it's like a way to exercise my brain from not boring. Because what happens, I start daydreaming and then I start, that's when I find I make mistakes. So I kind of do things, a lot of things like that to keep my brain focused on paying attention to what I'm doing. So I'm excited, and I'm doing 4 cases altogether in my pressure cooker. So. And I have two of them going at once. So I wouldn't mind actually getting 2 more, but I just don't have the room to. I don't know where I'd do it actually. But I wouldn't mind it because then it's so nice just doing it all at once and knocking a bunch out. Before, when I first started, I had a little one and I was only doing 9. I tell you, I do that thing all day, rip 9 out, another 9, and now I can just in one setting do 4 cases. The luxury of doing things bigger and better. That one, it has water, okay. It has enough in there that I feel confident that it's not gonna go bobbing around. Sometimes, okay, I do have more lids. I was like, sometimes I don't know how I manage it, but I end up with more lids and then less lids. But then it's like, how did I do that? Because I pulled them directly off of the jars from the brand new cases. So it's like, but I'm spot on this trip around. So, and then after that, I will get back to everybody and I'll show you the finished stuff. music to my ears. Another one. Oh. Seem to be. Oh, oh. Keep talking, keep talking. I already messed one up. Lid came off. Dang, I was hoping to nail all of them. Just try. Because it broke, and now it really smells like salmon in the house. There we go. Keep it coming. Ah, another one did it over here too. go. That's it. Tonight's work.